Ooh. So, don't mind the low quality of this video. My lighting is terrible. Let's get straight into it. So, I am 19 years old. I'm in medical school, and my tutoring company is currently making 3.2k per month, and that is pure profit, because I'm currently taking all of the classes. Now, how many classes am I taking? I'm doing 2 hours on a Tuesday, 2 hours on a Wednesday, and I am doing 6 hours on a Saturday. So altogether, that is 10 hours a week, for 3.2k per month. I'm going to show you exactly how I did this. I got it to this level in 90 days. It took me roughly 90 days to get to this level. For 10 hours a week, I think a lot of people would definitely appreciate an extra 3.2k per month. And these are very sociable hours that I'm doing them on, 6 to 8 p.m. on the weekdays and any time on the weekends. So you can do this along with your current job if you're a teacher, or if you're a student, it'll work fine as well. So I'm going to zoom this out. This is what it looks like. Now, the method I'm going to show you will require you to invest a bit of money. The fastest way, or at least in my opinion, the fastest way to get to this level of 3.2k per month, I'm aiming for much higher, so I'm actually in the negative right now in terms of actual profit. But if you want to get to this level as quickly as possible, you need to spend some money on ads, I think, at least. I don't know any other way to get and find students. If you make a good advert and you have a good funnel, you will be able to scale to 3.2k per month, probably in 30 days, if you do it all right. I made a bunch of mistakes, so hopefully this video will help you not make those mistakes if you do decide to do this. And probably by February, if you're watching this in January, you could have another source of income that is really only requiring you to work 40 hours per week, 40 hours per month, sorry. So just to break everything down, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I am spending £30 per day, 30 GBP per day on meta ads, so on Facebook ads. Now what that leads to is roughly 10 leads per day, you can see, and what we do is we call the leads up within the first 60 seconds of them clicking on the Facebook ad, or at least we started doing that in October, and it looks like we were able to get 20 people who joined me for a free trial class. So I am taking time out of my day, and not getting paid for it, and running a tutoring class for these people. The best model is group tutoring if you want to maximize the profit per hour. I like to max out at 8 students per group, because I think if you have too many, some parents can think it's an issue. Ideally, you want to pick something that is in your field of expertise, okay? So if you're not very smart, you can tutor kids, okay? And that's very easy. You can tutor for the SATs or the 11 plus, which is what we do. If you're a bit smarter, it's always better to actually tutor the older kids, because the parents are willing to spend more. The reason I didn't do that is because I was able to leverage a brand, someone else's company, who is already doing 11 plus tuition, and I just sort of extended onto that. So I'm just working on the 11 plus, unfortunately. If you're doing GCSE or like year 7 to year 9 tutoring, that works completely fine as well. My model is I ask them for 160 per month, and that's a 2-hour class per week. You can, if you want to make it even easier for you, you can make the 4th class in the month a 2-hour mock exam, where you just put together a practice paper, and you get your students to sit it during the class, so you don't actually have to work on the 4th lesson. I'm currently just doing 2-hour classes per week. So £160 per month for 2-hour class per week. And that is basically £40 per class that these guys are paying. Okay. You have to make sure you're giving them homework, etc. So there is a bit of like back end work that you have to do. If I pull up my Miro board, this will be a lot easier to explain. So what does this business actually entail? Well, it entails you being the tutor. So you're going to teach the kids for 2 hours per week. You need some form of materials, meaning you need some form of practice questions that you're going to be teaching off of. So you have to use these during the class, obviously. You can find lots of resources online, and this is completely dependent on what topic or subject you're teaching, okay? The broader you are, in my opinion, the better. So if you're just teaching something like biology, GCSE, it's going to be very difficult to find students that are looking just for biology GCSE tuition. If you're teaching, let's say you're doing maths and science GCSE, or for example for primary school students, that's going to be a lot better, right? There's a bigger target market here of students who might need this. So you want to do a bit of research, particularly look at what are the big companies teaching, okay? So if you have a look at, for example, My Edspace, this is a huge company, a huge tutoring company, and they're a bit different because they just they do a class of like 100 students in one. That's also something you can possibly do with your older students. I don't like doing it with younger students, I just don't think it works. But if you're, for example, doing let's say like maths, biology, chemistry, physics, right? You can see what they do. Let's actually look at their courses. You can see year 5 to 6, they've got maths, science, English. These are the big three. So if you're doing year 5 to 6, you probably want to teach those. If you're doing year 11, you can see again it's maths and the sciences and English. You probably want to tutor for these. These are the big ones, okay? The broader you keep your tuition services, the more likely you'll be able to get clients. Obviously that comes with an issue of like, you don't want to be too broad, but this is something you want to think of, okay? You need materials, you need your time, and you just need a way to set them homework. And that could be just sending them the PDF of the material, or using whatever method you want. But that's pretty much it, okay? You can run a class using a Miro board and a Google Meet, and that's it. That's all you need. You need materials, you need your time, and a way to set them your homework. So if you're going to just do this yourself, you can easily make 3k to 10k per month with this. 20 students is around 3k, meaning 60 students is going to be around 10k per month. Now this is actually going to be very, I think, a lot of time. This is going to require a lot of time input from you. It might be, at that point, you can look into making it into an actual business and hiring other people to take the classes for you. But if you're just looking for a bit of extra money, this is perfect, okay? So that's it. You need yourself, you need materials and homework. Once you've got an idea of exactly what you're going to tutor, and you've got materials, you've sort of got like a schedule, there's two things. This is something you probably haven't heard of before, or maybe you have. I'm not sure what type of people are watching these videos. You just have to make an offer now. So an offer that the parents or the people that are buying your tutoring service will be very valuable to them. So that this offer is, it's going to have to make them want to buy your tutoring services. It has to be a really good offer. I'll go into what that means, and marketing, right? And that's pretty much it. Okay, so as soon as you've understood what you're going to do, don't spend too much time on that. Just move into offer and marketing. Okay, you have to create your offer and you have to create your marketing funnel. Instead of trying to teach you how to make that, I'm just going to show you what I have got for my offer. Okay, like I already mentioned, it's 160 a month. for 2-hour class each week. We also provide them a mini mock exam each month that they can complete at home, and we provide pretty much like 24/7 support. I'm able to speak to these guys, the parents, on text, etc., if they need help, and I can ask them to book in parent meetings and stuff like that. This is cool. This is the deliverables. The important thing I think that helps me a lot is we've got a 90% pass rate. So I actually leverage, because my dad has a tuition company already, and I've worked for that company for the last year. You can actually see me down here. It'll take a while to see me, but this company's been running for ages, and it's got 90% pass rate. It just through word of mouth alone, it gets like 140 students each year. It doesn't do any marketing, okay? This is a face-to-face tuition center, so you actually hire out a room and you hire out teachers to come out and you do the teaching. So there's lots of expenses in this company. I just went out, sort of branded it as an extension of this company, and I'm using their social proof. Now, the only real social proof, the parents that are on the call, I can link down some of my sales calls below if needed. At some point, I'll probably show them. But they don't really ask for reviews or anything like that. They see the trial class, they like the trial class, and then afterwards I show them this. I show them the deliverables, and I show them that we have a 90% pass rate. I say that we've passed over 1,000 students through the 11 plus, through the exam that they're going for, over the past 12 years. They don't seem to ask proof for this. So if you're unethical and you don't really care, you could try and lie about this. Either way, this is it. I say this stuff, and then that's it, right? I do also show them this, which is our app. So while I was working for the company, I was helping them build out this app, and we give access to the students to this app, okay? And it's just basically a place where you can do your homework and you can have some extra practice questions on there. And this is where you access your mock exam as well. But I don't think that makes too much of a difference, to be honest, to actually selling these parents, okay? This is the offer: £160 per month, 2 hour each week, and a mini mock exam, each month. Why does this work? They don't actually care about any of this. What they care about is I frame this in a way that I say, this is going to help you pass your exam. It's going to help your child pass the exam. Why is it going to work? Because I say we've got a syllabus. So I say we have structured this into a syllabus where we have 27 homework booklets. So I think this is probably the section of the sales call where parents really find valuable, or probably get some interest in. I say we have 27 homework booklets and 10 mock exams, and this covers the entire syllabus for the 11 plus exam, right? So throughout the time they are getting tutored by me and they're doing the mock exams, they're going to cover everything, all of the topics. And I say once a student has completed all of these and they have redone these to a point where they are very proficient in every question that is in our syllabus, so they don't have to go out and do anything fancy. They just have to do everything that I've given them, all the homeworks, and they have to retry them until they're actually confident in them. I say it's that simple. Once you've done that, you will pass. And I'm able to say that I've got evidence for this. I can say that you can look at our 90% pass rate, and actually 100% of our students pass when they do the following. The only reason 10% of them don't is because they don't do this. So I'm able to use the social proof to prove that. But again, you can frame your tutoring in a similar way if you want to. So deliverables, why that gets them their result. You always have to think about the result that is happening. What do they actually want from your tutoring? They want to pass some exam. You're helping them pass some exam. Again, another one you can do is admissions exam. So we're doing an admissions exam, which is 11 plus. There's a bunch of other admissions exams you could tutor for, like the UCAT, which is a medical admissions exam, or the LMAT, which is a law admissions exam. But yeah. Anyway, once you've got your offer, it's marketing time, okay? Like I showed you here, you want to save up some money so you can spend on marketing. 1k per month is nice, I think, to be honest. If you're able to, it'll I mean, it's quite I'm not sure what the word for it is, but you'd be shooting quite far to hope to get 20 students in the first month. It is possible, but you need to get a winning ad off the bat, okay? For anyone that's in my niche, I know how you could do that, because you could just copy the ads that I've got. If you go on Facebook ads library, you can find the ads that I've got. If you're in a different niche, if you're gonna tutor different companies, right, different subjects, you have to figure out what angle works best for the creative. So use ChatGPT, ask them to create a script for your Facebook ad creatives, and then go out and record the Facebook ad creatives, okay? I can show you what mine looks like. The best one for my niche that is working really well is basically this angle where I say private schools. So if you go to, the 11+ exam is helps you get into a grammar school, right? A grammar school is a free secondary school, so you don't have to pay for it. It's state funded, and some people will argue that it's as good in terms of quality education as a private school, okay? And a private school is 15k a year, so it's very expensive, or even more than that, to be honest. Some of these are much more. So you what you get is you get the benefit of private schools, but for free. So there's lots of parents who want this. Lots of parents don't want a normal state-funded school, comprehensive, because they have lots of behavior issues and they have bad results, etc. Okay, so the ad angle that I take is I say that. I mean, let's listen to this.
I think private schools are the only way. Here's how grammar schools are quietly winning the education game. Most families waste months on unstructured tutoring, hoping that...
So you can see that's the hook. You want to test as many different hooks as you can, until you find a hook that works. A body is usually fine, right? So you can see the hook is, I say that, do you want private school level education but for free, basically? And then the body is basically just waffling about our service, okay? And then I do a call to action at the end. How we do it is we test, if we're doing £30 ad spend, £30 ad spend, we're just going to test 2 variants at a time. If this is getting too complicated for you, I'm going to try and break it down. So basically this means you record a body, okay? A body for the ad. So this is like the main text for the ad, which describes your service. And then you record 2 hooks. So hook 1 and hook 2. That just means you record like a first sentence. So you do 2 variations of a first sentence. Try and make them as different as possible to start out with, and see which version performs better, okay? So you've got hook 1 and hook 2, you got the body, and then you got the CTA, which is basically saying book a free trial class now, okay? That's it. You'd go out and record this. So you've got your offer now. You've decided what you're gonna do, and you're gonna go out and record the video. I know it seems like a lot of work, but realistically you can get this all done in 1 or 2 days, okay? 2 days, 48 hours, you can get this all done, even 1 day. Once you've done that, you're gonna have to do a bit of learning. So either you can hire an agency. I hired an agency to help me out with this, or you can just watch a YouTube video on how to run Facebook ads, and then basically run your Facebook ads. What it'll do is it'll be, so £30. You'll split the £30 between the 2 ads, so hook 1 and hook 2. And Facebook, after a few days, you'll find out that one of these ads gives you a cost per lead that is cheaper. So that means a lead I might be going ahead. So a lead It's basically when a parent clicks on your ad and gives you their information. So if they give you the information, like your phone number and email, okay, a lead is that. So if your cost per lead is lower on one of these ads, then you keep running that ad, okay, because that one's working. You want to get as low a cost per lead as possible, because then you get as many leads as possible for the same amount of money, okay. This is all you need to do. You need to get as many leads as possible, okay, and then you just create a new creative. You create like 2 new creatives after that, and you make a spin-off of the one that is working, or you make a completely new one if none of them are working well. You want to Google what is your average like CPL for your niche, to figure out if you're on the right track or not, etc. Right? Okay, now you're getting leads in. So now your Facebook, you're running these ads, and maybe you've got 9 leads on your first day. All you have to do from here is you change the leads into, you have to call up the leads, so you call them, and then you book them into a free trial class, okay? And once you've booked them into a free trial class, you have to convert them. So you have to do sales, okay? So that's the final step. Unfortunately, it does seem a lot more complicated than I put out to start with. But again, you find your niche, you make an offer, you get your marketing down, and then you do your sales, okay? So this is pretty easy. You're gonna have to make a script for your call. You have to make, this doesn't all have to be perfect from the get-go. The best thing you can do though is to copy someone else that is already winning, right? So you can funnel hack someone else, like look at someone else's ads and then go down their funnel and see what they're doing and just copy it. That will work because that saves you so much testing, right? Time in testing. So the reason why I spent 12k until I found something that was working well is because I had to test different stuff, okay? Okay, so you call them. You want to call them within the first 60 seconds of their lead coming through. That means you have to be on your phone a lot. Like as soon as you get a notification on your phone, you have to call them up and you have to speak to this person. So if you're going to do that manually, it's really tough, right? The reason why you do that is because I think there's like some statistic where you're like 400 times more likely to make a sale if you call them within the first 60 seconds. So even if that's the reason why I'm spending roughly like £1,000 a month on this company called Answer Connect, which will basically do that for me, because I'm not able to call these guys up within the first 60 seconds. I'm not on my phone all day, and if I was, I wouldn't be able to do any work. So I do that. You call them, you book them into a free trial class, you run a good tutoring session. Okay, you run a good tutoring session, and then at the end you just convert them, and that's when you present the offer at the end of your trial class to them. And you ask them for payment, okay, and then that's it, okay, and you repeat that. So the goal here is once you've got your offer and your thing, the main thing you want to, the issue is, right, money in this business is like a pipeline, okay, so you've got offer, you've got the first of all the market that you're targeting, your offer, marketing, and then sales, like I mentioned above, okay? So there's 4 things that you have to work on, right? Most of the time your market is fine, is not the issue. If you've just picked a normal market where other people are succeeding, then you can succeed as well, okay? That's fine. Your offer, if it's something similar to mine, it's probably not too big of a deal. It's not going to hinder you, okay? Your marketing is usually going to be the constraint, and probably the sales as well. The reason I'm boxing these is one of these is going to be the constraint. So if you're not making money, it's because one of these is not good enough. It needs to be made better. And to be honest, you can always improve on all of these. You can keep improving. The more it's like if you improve these all to like level 100, then you'll have lots of money. All right. Either way, if you're starting out, your offer and your market is probably okay. It's not like tutoring is very simple, okay? Your marketing is probably where the constraint is, meaning it's costing you too much to bring in new leads, or your sales is the problem, where you're getting loads of leads, you're booking loads of them into trial classes, and no one is actually paying you. Okay, so how do you figure out which one of these is the problem? Well, you just look at your conversion rates. Okay, so look at like lead to call, lead to trial class, to sale. Okay, and look at how many of my leads is actually converting to a trial class. First of all, I also look at how much money am I spending to get leads. So let's say I'm spending, let's look at my numbers, right? I was spending, let's look at the first one. I spent £1,000 to get 291 leads. Okay, 291. I looked at Google. This is pretty average. This is normal. So there's nothing wrong with my marketing. I mean, it can be better, but it's not the issue. All right. Then I had lead to trial class. Okay, so how many leads did I get that would actually come to a trial class? Looks like I had 20. Okay, I'm not entirely sure about this one, but I mean, yeah, it looks like I had 20. Okay, so that's less than 10%. Less than 10%. So I think that was probably the issue there. You can see it's quite low. Again, you can Google like what should this be on average, and then also the sales I made, it was 8. So my conversion rate here was actually less than 50% as well. All right, so you can see my issue was in these two areas. It was first getting the lead onto a trial class, and also making the sale after they got onto the trial class. There's also one extra thing that I forgot to mention here, which is the show up rate. So a lot of people, if you book them into a trial class, they won't show up. Okay, so that was also an issue. I think my show up rate was very bad. I don't have the number right here, but I think it was less than 50% again, right? And now you can imagine, obviously, once someone goes through this pipeline, you get money, right? So you can imagine if you increase this percentage right here, or this percentage, or this percentage, this money is going to go up. Okay, so your goal, once you've got this working, setting up, your goal is to just try and increase any of these. Go for first go for whichever increase you think you can make the biggest increase on. So if your show up rate is 10%, right, there's a few things you can do. Just Google what can I do to fix my show up rate. Okay, if you implement those things, you'll probably get to like 50%. So that's a 40%. That's not even a 40% increase. I think that's a 5x increase. That's a 500% increase, right? That's a 5x increase in your pipeline, right? That means you're probably going to make 5x more money just because you fix your show up rate. So that's how it works. Hopefully that makes sense. I've been waffling for too long now. Yeah, so if you want to start a tutoring business, hopefully this is helping you. If you want me to help you make a tutoring business, start your tutoring business, you can DM me on Instagram, and I'll happily work with you. I think that's about it. I'll try and make more videos to make this a bit more understandable and digestible. But I also keep you guys updated because, again, I'm currently at 20 students. I keep saying 20. I haven't actually got the payments through for the last 4 students, so I'm waiting for payments on the last 4. But once I hit that, I'll be at 20, which is nice. After 3 months, it's nice to actually have some form of income. And then after that, I want to hit 100 and I want to hit 1,000 like as quickly as possible. So I'm really going to keep you updated. Once I hit 500, I'll be so happy, bro. I'll be so happy. Obviously 500, you have to move everything. You have to start hiring tutors to actually take your classes, and you have to make sure everything is on point. But that's it. That's it for my spiel. Hopefully this was useful.